So, there has been discussion about rats. And a lot of people have watched my rat video. I live in Baltimore. We have lots of them. What is rarely talked about in the decline of the city is something that we share with almost every jurisdiction in the country. And that is a decline in the education of our children. This befuddles me because for hundreds of years we've known how to educate children. It wasn't difficult. We've known how to do it. You know how I know that? I've seen it happen. I've also seen it decline precipitously. By the way, it's pouring here. If the rain screws with the audio of this, I'm sorry. But we know how to educate kids, or at least we knew how to educate kids. But we don't. Why not? When I went to school, we knew. Not everyone learned at the same rate. But everyone could learn. It seems that the more we interfere in the process of educating the young with adding stupid, inconsequential things to what must be learned, the worse it gets. I remember believe it or not, I used to be in high school, and I have memories of those years. There was a test that all students had to take, a state evaluation that was forced upon us. It was ridiculous. I remember that our history teacher, Mr. Wilson, proctored this exam, and it was multiple choice, fill in the little bubbles exam. It was so retarded that we openly mocked the exam. One of the questions was so obvious. It was on the Holocaust. And what was the Holocaust? And there was a list of things to choose from, and one of them was a forest fire. So, we as a class all filled out a forest fire. And that's basically how the test went. We all filled out the single most absurd answer we could find. This test didn't help us learn a thing. The state of Maryland was trying to learn about us. They didn't. It was I guess you could call it a test of will. And we were unwilling to be subjected to the state's interference. Who knows what they did with that information? Maybe they used it to show how uneducated we were. I went to a high school that was, I guess today they're known as magnet schools. It was open to everyone in the city of Baltimore, as long as you had grades sufficient to get you in. And then you had to be admitted to what they called at that time was the A course. And then you could drop down to the B course, and then you could drop down to the T course, which was the technical course. It was a great system. It worked very well. But the way to educate children, we've known a long time. Well, we used to know how to educate children. We don't practice it anymore. That's the shame of it. You know, my school used to my school used to get new books every year, and we would donate them to a school that was underprivileged, because my school didn't want new books. It was, the old books were fine, except for history books. We got updated history books. But our geometry books, you know, we had to sign out our textbooks. Our geometry books and math books, everything, German books, whatever, went back. You had to sign them with your year and class. Those books went back to the 1900s. I never personally saw an 1800 book, but I did see a 1900 book. You know, that had been signed out by a student in the I think it was 1906. It's strange that you can learn from something so old. I guess some things really don't need updates. They just need to be applied correctly. Isn't that a bitch?